Well, it's that time of year again. The worst of the cold weather seems to have passed. Spring has sort of begun, and we frogs have decided to return to the pond. There seems to be more of us than usual, and we think this is because last year's spawn laying was so successful. We are happy with our choice of pond, as there are many hiding places for the tadpoles and lots of green algae for them to eat. If the gardener does not tidy up the pond plants or cut them back too much, I think that this year will be equally successful for tadpole production, as they do not like open water at all until they grow bigger than a fish's mouth, or get their legs so that they can move out into the surroundings. It was great to catch up on all the news from our friends, although we noticed that a few familiar faces were missing. We do hope that they have possibly gone to other ponds and not come to some unfortunate end somewhere. On the other hand, it is always a pleasure to welcome the many new arrivals and to swap stories on any new or refurbished ponds that may have appeared in gardens in the area. Some of the first-time visitors were concerned at the number of fish patrolling the pond. But as fish numbers do not appear to have increased since last year, we are not unduly worried about this, especially as frog spawn production is always more than enough to cover any losses incurred. Some of our members were a little concerned at the weather forecast. Although the last few weeks have been reasonably warm for the time of year, resulting in the commencement of spawning, there is now a high possibility of frost and even some snow. The cold will not affect tadpole development too much and will only slow it down somewhat. What we really don't want just now is very hot or dry weather. From past experience, we are confident that this is very unlikely at this time of year, and that is the reason why we start our activities as soon as we possibly can. We know there is no time to lose, and every advantage to be gained. We have been discussing why our offspring are called tadpoles and not frogpoles. Our oldest member informed us that this comes from the words toad and pole meaning head, and they share this appellation with our friends the toads and newts. Although we all know the difference instantly, we generously agreed not to change the name to frogpoles or froglings in the interests of amicable living with our amphibian neighbours. However, we did find froglets in the dictionary, as a proper term for them once they have come out of the pond. There was also some discussion on their other name of pollywogs, which comes from an old English word, polwiggle, and we were all rather pleased with this, as it accurately describes the wiggling heads of our energetic youngsters. The etymological discussion concluded to the satisfaction of all, and we all dispersed around the garden to look for a well-deserved entomological snack and find a cosy corner to settle down in before the cold weather returns. As soon as this last cold spell is past, we shall all meet again in the pond, when swimming and basking will be much more pleasant with the warm spring sun on our backs. If you would like any further information, I can be found in my favourite place behind the compost bins, where it is dark, damp and safe. I have a reliable supply of fresh worms emerging from the base of the bins, where they grow and multiply. There is more than enough for everyone, if you wish to visit for lunch at any time. With best wishes, A Croaker.